some split squats today. These can be foot down, which is a normal split squat, or foot elevated, which is a Bulgarian split squat. Both are going to be equally fine this morning. We're doing 3 total sets of 10 per leg split squats, and then 10 alternating curtsy lunges. That's just 10 total. If curtsy lunges, that's when your foot goes back and behind you, is a bit much. You can just make it a good old-fashioned reverse lunge, just straight back instead of across where your foot goes behind you. And then 20 bear plank shoulder taps. Right. So a little bit of motor control and core work. Part B is 8. So actually everything is 8 here, right? I forgot to write the rounds. I apologize. It is 3 sets, but everything is 8. So we have first piece is 8 per side, either dumbbell floor press or kettlebell floor press, or push-ups. So we're just pressing in some shape. So push-up is no equipment / maybe you want to lie on your back and press. If you're able to do push-ups face down, we'll do that. It's an or, not an and. 8 per side Z press. That's where we start seated and we press overhead. And then 8 prone swimmers, not real swimming, although Meg might have some comments on your technique. Laying on the ground.
I need a tennis ball.
You might need a tennis ball. I don't have a tennis ball, but you might need one. And then we have 40 seconds on, 20 seconds of rest, for basically 3 rounds, essentially 9 minutes total of alternating V-ups, glute bridge marches, and Supermans. I'll go over those all over again. So you don't have to remember everything. We have squatting, some pressing, and some ab work. That's your Cliff Notes version. For anyone old enough to remember what Cliff Notes is. Great. First and foremost, I hope you're all well as you can be. Let's just start with some cat-cows. We'll get moving. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns on anything we're doing, feel free to direct message me or just ask. I'll remove my poncho now. Okay. Give it your 10th. I say good morning, excuse me. Cat-cow. We can move into our bird dogs next. You can lay back, arm back, or up. Lift up the foot. Switch. I'm doing a total of 10. Remember how fast you're going, just looking to find some motor control, glute engagement, all that good stuff. Core work. Once you completed 10 total, we're going to kind of hold like a whole body circles. I'm going to show you from the side and then from the front. You're basically going to be in what feels like your tabletop position, but instead of going into child's pose, so you might think of, right, kind of rounding the spine, I'm going to set my hips back, but I'm going to keep my back relatively flat. I'm going to make a circle with my body, right? So head on. I have my back flat. I'm going to go send my hips to the left. Just a gentle rotation of the body. So I'm kind of loading the shoulders one at a time, hips one at a time. Let's get 5 per direction. Nothing super extreme, but it is not a child's pose where the back flexes or rounds. So just kind of 5 per direction. Just making a circle with your body. So we're going hips, shoulders, making a big circle. And 5 per side. Taking a gentle check and see how we're feeling so far. So 10 total rotations, we're going 5 per direction. Hopefully it just feels nice and gentle, mostly. Okay, let's go 90-90s or a Z stretch. Feet are shoulder width apart. We're sitting down. We're going to drop the knees off to one side. I'm on my right leg. My left leg is basically pretty much off the ground. I can lean back. In total 10. If you're feeling fancy and you want to do a little extra, I have a yoga mat for my knees. I can. I'll switch over so you can see this. Rotate. Come up. So my feet haven't moved. I've just come up and into a kneeling position. My butt squeeze. I'm stretching this hip now. Come down. And switch. That's an option, not a requirement. Just a little extra on this. I would say if you have sensitive knees like mine, I would put something underneath both just in case.
Or maybe you had people shoot big needles into your knees on Friday?
I don't, yeah, then I would generally avoid this one just for the moment.
Actually, these are good.
Yeah, no, it's this part that it's this.
That's too much. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, even I say knees that have not been attacked by needles. It doesn't feel great unless I'm on something soft. Just given my history with weightlifting, as in, well, that's not even true. That's actually a false statement. But it's just I have some knee injuries that I figured out. Okay, so we'll push up into a down dog. So we're going both kind of begin, not quite a yoga flow, but we're going to check out our overhead position without going overhead and assist that push up heavily. I want 10 of these. It's a lot, so I want you to assist them and make them as easy as you want. Assistance can look like a flank down, right. Push up from the knees if you like, hips through, right. Any of the above or knees in both directions. Right. We're going for this down dog shape, right? So not quite your yoga flow, but similar idea in stretching. Laying down, you can warm up if you'd like, that's fine. We're biasing that head between the shoulders position in that down dog.
So fun fact, when the hyperextension of the knee, a push up is fine, but then going up into down dog, my knee pops. Cause my leg is straight and going up, so. We're not doing that this morning yet.
If you need to keep your knee bent when if that helps, like intentionally keep a bent knee.
Yeah.
Or even, right?
Let me see about
Lock. I mean, it's okay if this is not quite there yet, but if you need more of a challenge. If you don't have to lock out the leg, it could actually be a bent knee, head through. So an intentional knee bend.
Okay, that works.
Yeah, and you don't have to actually lock out the joint if that's what causes some discomfort. And that actually might make that more of a hamstring stretch, which is quite nice. Okay. So what we're gonna do next here, let's just start with, or continue, I should say, with let's start with 2-footed squats. So before we start lunging, we'll start with squatting 2 feet. And I want your hands above your head if you can hold them there. So simple as when you're squatting, holding your hands above your head, right? Just holding them there. If that's too much for the shoulder, you can bring them down. I'm gonna show you my waist because that's what we're doing here. My hands are above my head, so trust me. Feet are squat width apart. So I would say for me, shoulder width. A little toe down. My hands are above my head. No, you can't see them. On the side, you're gonna squat down. Right? I'll stand back up. Putting down. Standing back up. Whatever depth you can tolerate / keep your toes and heels down. Let's do 10. Good. Make a Y shape or an I shape for me. So instead of having kind of like a sit up or a crunch shape. Yeah. So if you're making more of a Y shape. Yeah. There you go. Don't worry, on the split squat, you do not need to have your hands above your head. We're just beautiful. So for your lunges today, we are going to be stepping backwards in this case, both for the curtsy or for your, I would say, modification. Stepping forward is also fine if you're not curtsying. But your curtsy is going to be, I'm going to go back and across, right? Your back knee pinches the ground. It doesn't have to. This shin angle is pretty vertical. It's not super off to the side. Your back knee might touch the ground. That's 1, right? We alternate 2. If you want to go just straight back, that's fine. And again, you don't have to touch the ground with the knee, or we can be stepping forward. All right, weight here is going to be optional. But that's kind of what we're rolling with for our second movement. The first is going to be your split squat. So weight or weights in hand. Okay, this is my weight. Okay, I go opposite my standing leg. So I'm going to switch here so you can see the squat part. And then I'm going to go ahead, foot's down, most of my weight's on this leg, the one near you. Squatting. If you prefer like a leg lifted version, that's fine too, right? But we're doing 10 reps per leg. Either iteration's fine. Let's start with that first. Let's start with our split squats. Grab your weight if you have them. Or maybe we go and wait for the first set. That's okay too. 10 split squats per leg. You can remove the weight for your curtsy lunge. You want to keep the weight for your curtsy lunge. You can carry it next to your chest. Breathing in as your hips drop. Nice exhale as you stand. If you have 2 weights, you can carry 2 weights. I just want to point out, Mike, if you want to hold your petticoat, you can still do a reverse lunge. That still counts. You don't have to go back and across. The curtsy lunge or even the reverse lunge, make sure your balance is there first. Don't go toppling over. Not worth it. And then of course we have our bear plank shoulder taps. Right? Bear plank is just where we're in a tabletop position. Our back is flat. And then I'm going to bring my knees off the ground a smidge. I'm going to tap my shoulders. Trying to limit the amount of rotation or movement I'm doing. Speed is not the objective on this one. The closer your knees are to the ground, the better, or the harder, I should say. If you prefer more of a plank shape, the modification is going to be just a hold here, or you want to do a shoulder tap, but it's too much, straighten the leg. You can do that instead. Each tap is 1 rep. Once you've completed, slightly different rates, that's okay. 10 per leg split squats, 10 alternating, that's 5 per side, lunges or curtsy lunges, and 20 bear plank shoulder taps or modification of some kind. That's 1 set. So we're finishing set 1 or moving into set 2. If you have any questions that pop up for you, don't be afraid to ask. And resting between movements or sets here is welcome, right? That the rest here is going to be self-selective. I don't need you moving through movements that you're not ready for. You good, Maxine?
Yep.
Getting a little toasty. That's a good sign, especially in your basement. Which is still probably warmer than my house, but that's probably, maybe that's not true.
Well, it's the garage. So I have a door in the outside. Our garage is like, it's like attached to our house, but you have to go outside in between. That makes sense. So
Yeah, it does. The place we stayed at in Palm Springs had that sort of setup. It was just like a 5-foot walk, but you had to still walk.
yeah, and like half the lights are out, so it's all dark in here.
Yeah. There's when Nikki signed me up for La Quinta, but didn't tell me. And on my birthday, I was like,
Oh,
I got you something for your birthday. You're doing a relay. I was like, I'm doing a what?
which leg did you do? Oh, the bike. Yeah.
Yeah, not the whole thing. Not the running and not the swimming.
My brain is not quite.
My brain was like, wait, you can't draft? And I was like, oh, you can't draft. I need to stop drafting. Because I wasn't actually not used to triathlon rules. I was like, oh no, I'm breaking the rules. I'm like, it's so much easier when you just on their wheel. And I was like, we can't do that. That is not allowed. Got it. I mean, frankly, they could have penalized me, but it wouldn't have done anything. As in, I'm one of 3 on a team on a road bike, not a TT bike. That's fine. You're fine. You were fine. I mean, I wasn't actually. It was hot and flat. And oh, wait, did I say it was flat? It was flat.
Yeah.
I mean, I see the appeal for a late season race, but being kind of thrown into it with with no warning was kind of a rude shock.
You were just bored, let's face it.
I was also just bored. I also didn't know how to fuel. I didn't know what I was doing. It was just like, surprise. You're gonna bike fast-ish for however many miles. Long enough. But the shoulder tap shows slow down, less speed. We're going for, yeah. In this case, if you can go slower, that's better. Coach May, was that 3 for you? Yeah, okay. Everyone's at a slightly different pace. That's okay if we're not all the same rate, especially when you have, I say, as many people as we have in person, or I say at the same time. So it's okay if we're all a little bit.
Baby, we got a full house.
Full house. My screen's almost not big enough.
I know, that's what I said. Gonna need a split screen next time.
I mean, I'll ask Nikki to set that up for me because
I'm not complaining. This is awesome sauce.
I agree. Oh, goodness. Are you staying warm, Maxine, or are you doing some stuff?
Good. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you staying warm or are you doing the squats?
I'm doing squats.
Okay, sorry, I couldn't tell. That is fine. What I will say is I'll kind of think actually luckily most of the people who are finished are in insulated buildings. So we're
am I behind everyone? What's happening?
Not really, not by much. You're fine.
Well,
We're just gonna stare off into space and I'm gonna.
I mean, Aretha is also curtsy lunging. I see her lime green blob. And I say blob because it's blurred, not because you're blob shaped, just to be clear.
Reset, right?
Yes.
Because her fuzzy background.
Arisa,
I'm
watch,
not saying
she's blurry, and then as soon as she hits the bottom of her curtsy, she comes into focus, and then she goes out
yeah,
again.
because it's like whoop, there's a human face. We can focus now.
Yep. She's peeking.
Just want to point out, Arisa, I kind of tucked things away before we started. So it's like everything outside this view is a mess. Here we're doing okay. The important bit, basically.
It's so slow today.
That's okay.
She said speed wasn't the issue, so
And I was explicit about, I was trying to be pretty explicit about the shoulder taps not being for speed, right? In this case, sometimes the lack of speed is actually what makes it more challenging versus doing it as fast as humanly possible. I'll talk about part B, Maxine, but just keep your ears open, okay? You're doing just fine as you are. So we have 3 sets. Again, everything's a bit threes. Not sure why, it just is. So either a dumbbell floor press or kettlebell floor press. So that's belly button up, or push-ups, which is belly button down. I'm going to go over the floor press first. They're very similar in some respect. However, unlike the push-up, where the shoulder moves through, kind of, you're almost pushing the floor away, the shoulder blade comes off the body, and you pull it back, right? When you come down to your bottom push-up, we're going to keep it back in the floor press. So it's going to be here. My chest is going to stay puffed up most of the time. And my hips can be on or off of the ground. That's going to be up to you, right? So basically a glute bridge hold or not. And if you have 2 dumbbells, great. If you have 1, that's okay. We'll just switch arms, doing 8 per side or 8 total, depending on what you have. If your dumbbells here, right, and sit back, right, shoulder blades back and down as opposed to reaching up, right? I'm going to go ahead and squeeze my, if I want to, I can lift my hips. I don't have to go from here. Bring the elbows down, touch. I'm not losing contact with my shoulder. Staying back, and then squeeze. So very upper back bias, maybe a chest stretch if you're stiff. Your hand position can be thumbs back, 45 degrees or neutral, right? So it could be here, here, or here. Ultimately, we're doing 8 total. Or if you have 1 dumbbell, you only have 1 at home, we'll do 8, right? And then switch. You can do it from here if you want to add a little more range of motion on that. That's option 1. Option 2, your push-ups or push-ups. I think we know what those are by now. Make them as challenging as you like, and allowing for that protraction, push away, that retraction, touch. All right, knees are okay. If you're feeling fancy and you have dumbbells, you can do a deficit push-up. Not that you have to. Where instead of going to the ground or going to an even surface, you go to a deficit. So you go lower and get more range of motion on the shoulder. Optional, not required. Okay. Z press. Take any object, something light. You're gonna be seated, legs straight. If you need to elevate your butt, that's okay. And I'm gonna go overhead. All right. From the side. All right. I am not leaning back. I'm staying upright. All right. That's not an option. Just go ahead and limit whatever range of motion you have going up. On your prone swimmers, last but not least, I'm going to say it and then show you. So my face can be down. Toes together, right? Thumbs up. And you're going to go ahead and just lift up the chest. So toes are going to stay down. And upper, kind of make a W with your upper back. Right? My toes are pointed. Right? It's going to be here. Right? You can reach your hand forward. Obviously, I can't here. That's okay. I would say maybe I go this way. Right? And I can be like kind of here, right? Or hand up, overhead, W, right? That's going to be, every time you hit your hands above your head, that's 1. Any questions? We're doing 8 reps of everything. Okay, starting with your floor press or push-up. After 8 floor presses, that can be per arm if you have a singular object, or 8 total if you have 2, or 8 push-ups. You have 8 per side Z press. Yep. If you need to elevate your butt a little bit to do that, that's okay. Especially if it means maybe a yoga block at home, just to allow the legs to remain straight. Prone swimmers, hands start behind your back, like a little diamond. Come around, overhead. What is it, Meg's? Tall lady, tiny box or something? Something. Nikki.
Tiny boxes.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're not white, but tiny box, right?
So tiny box is your feet.
Oh, tiny box is your feet. Okay. Well, see, this is how much I know. It's okay to keep your head down if it helps. A little head up is also okay. That's a matter of comfort. I think I'm just like I'm making a face down snow angel. That's kind of what I think about.
Oh.
So a little bit, okay, or you can go for the full overhead, right? So I know I demonstrated both. You can go just a little lift this way, right? This way, just the upper back. You want to go kind of full overhead, you'll go behind the back like a diamond, W, reach. That's option 2. I realize it's kind of 2 flavors of the same idea. Beautiful. If you are facing up, your belly button's facing the ceiling on the floor press. We're emphasizing keeping the chest open. You might even find you have a slight arch in the back. As long as your butt's squeezed, we're doing okay, right? And you're braced. Actually, I have a request. Next time we do Z presses, can you put like a little puppet on your dumbbell? So every time it pops into screen, a little pink, little puppet.
I'll work on that.
Great. You're not busy. It's fine. Plenty of time to.
Nothing else to do.
Nothing.
It's important right now.
Nope. You know what is important? A little bit important though. A little bit of comedy is okay.
That's what I mean. She needs all the cheer she can get right now.
I mean, honestly, if you just get like find some like unicorn ears and just put them on there, you probably nailed it. And Meg's got them for you. She's on it, Maxine. She's running. You can't see her, but she's running around the screen. See, that's what I'm saying.
I will now wear this for the rest of my workout because why the fuck not? I mean, why the heck?
What's she wearing? You
The unicorn headband.
See when you come up, finish your set, dude.
Yeah. I have to say, Meg, I didn't know unicorns can swim.
I know.
I've never seen one swim. That's all. She's.
But I just saw this video of like it's like a horse therapy pool or something. It's like a round pool. The horse could just swim around in circles. It was amazing.
You didn't send it to me, so I don't believe that you watched that video.
What?
Was it?
Was it not fluffy enough to send to me?
I mean,
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Horses aren't videos. That's what we do all day.
Horses aren't that fluffy. I mean, some horses are a little fluffier because like the horses in Iceland are a little like they're
fluffy.
They're fluffier. They're not like fluffy in the way you think of like
Shetland ponies can be fluffy.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they're in the Shetlands. Of course they're fluffy. It's freezing up there.
Fun fact, I had a Shetland pony when I was a kid.
Really?
Yep. Coco.
Huh. Not in the Shetlands, huh? I feel like that's a bit of a misnomer.
Pennsylvania.
No, horses get fluffy coats in the winter.
They do? Okay. What do I know? I've only ridden a horse once, and it knew that I couldn't ride a horse, so it just walked me into things.
Yeah, they do
It
that.
knew. It was like, oh, this one doesn't know what she's doing. Let's just go have a snack.
Let's mess with her.
Kind of. I was like, oh, wait, look at this snack over here. I was like, oh, guys, how do I drive this thing?
Yeah, horses are like dogs. They're like, oh, you're not paying attention? I'm gonna fucking F with you.
Well, they could tell I was like 11 years old. They knew that I don't know what I'm doing. I'm a city kid. I don't know what's going on here. I played on my mailbox for fun. Like that's like riding horses was not my repertoire.
Did it, guys.
Did it.
Did
See?
it.
Now you're first. Okay,
No.
you're second. Just finish.
Yes, I won.
Unicorn reporting for next set.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
I mean, you all don't have one of these right next to your like computer.
No, I'm obviously failing at life.
It helps that the like team shit room is like right next to the theater.
Team shit room.
Well, sorry, all my team spirit. Let's put it. That's the word. That's the word. The team spirit stuff is in this room.
You know what I've been told, and I think it's been scientifically proven that tassels on your either the end of your bull horns or on the end of your jersey make you faster. And if they're sparkly and iridescent, it's even faster. Just saying.
Anything sparkly makes you faster. It's
Right, but just
that's
like the extra tassels, just blowing in the wind.
Tassels, yeah.
Yeah.
I think the next bike ride I do,
I
not
like that Joseph is sitting out this conversation. So yeah, I just want to
You know
point.
what? Joseph would have sparkly like bar plug ends. Don't lie. You know
Bye,
that you bought them.
Dean. Bye, Eddie. Don't freeze. Oh wait, you're not in Colorado. You're good.
It's there though, isn't it, Carrie? It's cold. I don't know what the
Oh
temperature.
yeah, I love the it's too cold to ride here comments from all weekend. I was like, hold my freaking frozen ass beer, people.
Okay, you're not as bad as Canadians though, because every time you're like, it's cold, Canadians are like, it's -50. And you're like, you know what, Canada, no, we're not talking to you about this. I don't care if it's
Pretty much when it's cold enough for the diesel to freeze in my van, it's cold enough.
That's cold enough. That's cold.
so that's why I live in a
-3
place where it's
degrees.
cold.
Fun fact, I actually had a friend who did not know and drove he lives in Massachusetts, but he was here this weekend for Leadville, something in Leadville. And he had to have his Sprinter towed because he didn't know to put diesel additive in his van and that he needed a block heater, and he went to try to start it at -20 and
Oh boy,
yeah,
that's not good.
no, it's no bueno.
Yeah, I mean,
Let's get this last set in, babies.
I was gonna say that sounds distinctly unpleasant, but shall we? So our final set, and we'll be early today, despite our chatting, which I'm
Again.
okay with. We're just very honestly, like while working, very efficient. In between, not. So
We got right into it pretty good though. We were
doing okay. And Joseph's absence would suggest otherwise.
I
So here's
know.
the deal.
But no, we're having a mid workout break instead of the beginning. So we need to get back to it.
So we have either alternating tuck ups or V ups, right? So similar theme. We're just depending on how long your legs are or if you straighten your leg or not. Alternating is going to be right, reaching, right hand, left foot, or opposite, or you can go lift the leg, right? Both are fine. It's a matter of taste. But frankly, right, we're doing 40 seconds worth of that. Okay, if you need to change dead bugs or you have head and neck issues, keep the head down. We'll do dead bugs instead. Glute bridge marches. We've done these before. These are spicier than I think any of us want them to be. Right? We're going to hold this glute bridge and you're going to go ahead and 1, 2, try not to let the hips come back down if you can help it. And then we have our Supermans, which, well, like Pro Supermans, we're just lifting up the feet and the hands. So butt squeezed, right? Or braced, and it should feel like maybe a glute, just a whole body, but upper back and right, going for height, but also length. So I would say back is okay as long as butt is squeezed. And I'll tell you when to switch. So 40 seconds work, 20 seconds of rest. Unlike the last few weeks, we've been 30 seconds of each. So slightly longer. So if you have to rest for that 40 seconds, that's okay.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, I'm gonna get the clock rolling. If you start early, good on you, but it's not kind towards your time. We have our alternating V-ups or full-on V-ups if you're feeling fancy. In 3, 2, 1, and go. And pace these out. We're repeating each movement a total of 3 times. Go. Resting in 3, 2, 1, rest. The rest is shorter, so you have 20 seconds of rest before we stay on our backs. Just relax, lay down. And you're going to do your glute bridge marches, a glute bridge hold or glute bridges as a fine substitution here. 3, 2, 1, and go. Glute bridge marches is the prescribed movement. Modify as needed. Probably figured it out by now, but make sure you're breathing. Don't hold your breath. It's a long time. 3, 2, 1, and rest. You can rest before you turn over, so just stay. If you want to lay on your belly, go ahead. But if you want to hang out for a second, you can stay upright. We are starting Superman's in 3, 2, 1, and go. Keep those toes together, butt squeezed, and to keep those hands are wider to keep the elbows straight versus hands narrower and bent elbows. You're going for length and, well, more length than height. Let's say that. 2, 1, and rest. Cool. That's your first round. We're doing a total of 3. Back to your alternating V-ups in 10 seconds. We're rolling back on our backs here. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah. And rest. Yeah, you can just lay. I know you're blurred out, Reese, but that starfish shape is stunning. just, just full on starfish. We are starting our glute bridge marches in 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, 2, 1, rest. Eventually, you'll need to be on your belly, but in the meantime, do whatever you gotta do. Starting in 3, 2, 1, and go. Beautiful. Those Supermans, you can continuously do isometric hold, right? Or continuously, right? Feet down, feet up, hands up. So we're going into extension, back to, I guess, neutral-ish. For a hold is fine. You might not want to hold for 40 seconds though. Three, 2, 1, rest. All right, my friends, final set of each movement. Final time through. Starts in 5, 3, 2, 1, and go. You bend the knee and reach for the heel on the V on these tuck ups instead of making it a full on V up. That's fine. Can't touch your toes, probably not gonna touch your feet with the legs straight. Three, 2, 1, rest. Need a little back discomfort, you can always change those V-ups to dead bugs, even though we just finished them. 3, 2, 1, glute bridge marches. About keeping the hips stable, the height of the actual march is secondary. Three, 2, 1, rest. Your final rest period for your final set of Supermans. Three, 2, 1, and go. Final piece today. Three, 2, 1, and rest indefinitely. Let's work. Racy, give me a sign of life. There she goes. Okay. Just laying down. You're fine. Just laying still for longer than is comfortable. Oh, that's understandable. My friends, we have plenty of time remaining. For those of you who want, I have, from based on my clock, 10 extra minutes on your day. Feel free to hop off and enjoy the extra 10 minutes. If you want to hang out, well, you can do some foam rolling or stretching for a bit of recovery for those of you who want to stay on until our allotted time. So For those of you who want to stay, great. If you want to head out, I wish you a good rest of your Tuesday or whatever day you watch this.
Thank you. Okay.
You're welcome.
I would just like to say, I am grateful for all of you being here, because then I didn't say stay in bed and doom scroll and death spiral. So thanks for giving me a reason to get out of bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being in community is helpful.
Yeah.
And
Very.
knitting for me.
Have a great day, everybody. Thank you, Coach Kirstie.
Bye.
You. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
You.
Bye.